In today's news, new law year commences, Premier speaks on UK visit, and new community initiative gives gas vouchers to residents. Premier attends USVI swearing in, and Labour Department reflects on its various challenges. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. You're watching 284 News.
Hon, it's asking for your password.
Huh?
You were logged out. I need the password.
BR,
What's the rest?
BRANDI, the number 4, EVER?
Who's Brandy?
We're like the password that isn't your ex-girlfriend's name. CG Insurance. Good like that.
I should have changed it.
You should have.
You're right.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
Sonny.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man forget you.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Welcome everyone. It's Friday, January 6, 2023. You're watching 284 News out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you the latest in local, regional, and international content. Thank you so much for joining us. Beginning our newscast on the local scene, the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court will mark the commencement of the new law year on Tuesday, January 10th, with its traditional ceremonial opening proceedings under the theme, the ECSC Navigating the Changing Tides. This year, the host territory is Anguilla, where the first scheduled sitting of the Court of Appeal for the 2023 will take place, the ESCS said in a release. Now, in a recent interview, Chief Registrar Mrs. Michelle John Tadbowles spoke on the auspicious occasion.
Indeed, Ron, the highlight of the court's calendar is the opening of the law year. So every year we look forward to it. The Chief Justice, along with the judges, the masters, the court staff, and the legal fraternity, we all look forward to ushering our new law year. And usually there are a series of events planned just to commemorate this occasion for us. And so we, especially at the court's headquarters, are looking forward to it. And as we do every year, we really just want to let the public know that it's not just for us lawyers, but it's for every single citizen of the Eastern Caribbean whom the court serves.
The ceremonial opening will commence with a church service in each member state and territory, followed by the procession to the High Court, where the formal special sitting of the court will be held.
It's customary that we start with a church service. So as you highlighted before, we're 9 member states and territories, separated geographically, but we still come under the one umbrella of the Supreme Court. So each island is going to have their individual church services, which would be the first activity. For the BVI, I am told that the church service will be held at the Anglican Church in Road Town, Tortola, at 8 a.m. And this church service would be followed by a procession to the courthouse, and there would be the inspection of the guard of honor done by the senior resident judge at that time. And similar activities would be happening across the 9 member states and territories. So it's really exciting that at the same time we would be doing similar things just in different places. And then at 10 o'clock, it culminates with the special sitting that has been planned. Now, Ron, in years gone by, each island has had individual special sittings whereby the feature address delivered by the Chief Justice would be aired live via simulcast. After the Chief Justice's address, it's customary that the live cast is broken and the individual islands continue with their own sitting. Well, since COVID, we have been doing it a bit differently because, of course, the court wasn't able to travel. The islands, the opening is done on roster in various islands. But for the past 2 years, the court has not been able to travel. But Dame Janice Pereira, our Chief Justice, didn't want to miss out on this special occasion. And so for the last 2 years, we've been having pre-recorded special sittings. We've also had a live church service that has been broadcast to all the 9 member states and territories. But this year, we're doing something very novel, trying to get back to a sense of normalcy, or maybe what we knew before.
And over in Anguilla, the church service will be held at the St. Mary's Pro Cathedral commencing at 8 a.m. This will, of course, be followed by the procession to the High Court, where the inspection of the guard will be conducted, followed by the special sitting at 10 a.m.
We are now having a hybrid special sitting in that the Court of Appeal will be traveling to the territory of Anguilla, which is rostered to host the opening of the lawyer for 2023. And the Court of Appeal, along with the speakers for Anguilla, will be appearing from the High Court in Anguilla. And the Chief Justice's feature address will be aired via Zoom to the other 8 member states and territories who would be gathered in their individual courthouses to receive it. And as we've done in the past 2 years, to have one court sitting, there will be one representative from each member state and territory to deliver addresses this year. So it's a bit different, but it's still very exciting because it's wonderful to see how we're able to get everyone involved in this special sitting, in this remarkable, auspicious occasion for the court.
The public is, of course, encouraged to participate in the ceremonial opening of the law year 2023 by attending either the church service or the special sitting, or by watching and listening on the various media platforms.
Well, aside from the fact that the mode in which it's been conducted is quite different, you find that persons could have really attended in person. Live streaming was not as big back in the last couple years when the court did it. But right now, we have embraced technology. I'm sure you would agree that the court itself has really embraced this digital age in all we do. And this opening is no exception. And so we have our opening being aired live on our Facebook page for the court, as well as our YouTube page. And it's also going to be aired live, not only on social media, but via GIS stations across the 9 member states and territories, as well as some radio stations. So we're really trying to get the word out there to let everyone know. If you can't attend in person, there is still an opportunity for you to view this event.
The Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court was established in 1967 by the West Indies Associated States Supreme Court, number 223 of the 1967. Now, this is the Superior Court, of course, of the record of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, including 6 independent states: Antigua and Barbuda, the Commonwealth of Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and 3 British overseas territories. It has the unlimited jurisdiction in each member state. Premier Dr. The Honorable Natalio D. Whitley has announced that he will be visiting the United Kingdom in the coming days to meet with the Minister for Overseas Territories, the Right Honorable Lord Goldsmith. Premier Whitley said the scheduled meeting with Goldsmith is one of many meetings to be had on this trip, and he intends to advocate for a number of items on behalf of the territory.
In a week and a half, I will travel to the United Kingdom to advance the economic, political, and environmental interests of the Virgin Islands. On the agenda are financial services, investment, and environmental partnerships. I will also meet with our students and citizens in the United Kingdom to hear their concerns and ideas. The visit will also be my first official opportunity to meet Minister for the Overseas Territories, Lord Goldsmith, as well as engage the BVI All-Party Parliamentary Group and other UK parliamentarians who have an interest in the Virgin Islands. The occasion of my visit will also be an opportunity to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the BVI London office. That was the successful vision of the late Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Ralph T. O'Neill, OBE. I look forward to updating the public on the outcome of the visit upon my return.
Premier Whitley was also asked by the media whether his trip to the UK will involve him lobbying to have the Order in Council removed from the territory.
I will be meeting with the Minister, and I certainly will advocate for that Order in Council to be lifted.
And viewers, up next we have more local news coming to you. You're watching 284 News.
Freeze. Choose your mix, choose your flavor.
That's out. That's 6. That's out.
With worldwide medical coverage and affordable premiums, we're like a home match that isn't played at your actual home. CG Insurance. Good like that.
My turn. Oh, come on, guys.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hooked, I tell you.
Viewers, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Continuing on, the Community Policing Unit of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force partnered with a local business in an effort to give back to the community. More on this report. The Community Policing Unit of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force partnered with a local business in an effort to give back to the community. In collaboration with Bob's Gas Station, Community Police Officer of the Rotown District, PC Mitchell John, and members of the Cohort 6 presented over 20 gas vouchers to motorists during the Christmas week. Motorists were randomly and unexpectedly pulled over by the police once their DMV license sticker appeared to be up to date at first glance. Once compliant with the signal to pull over, a closer inspection was done. The drivers were cheerfully greeted and informed of the reason they were pulled over. Motorists were somewhat bewildered once they became aware that they were pulled over for adhering to the traffic laws, but were equally excited when told that they might qualify to receive a gas voucher complement of Bob's gas station. To qualify for one of the complimentary gas vouchers, the following criteria applied. The driver must be the owner of the vehicle. The driver must present their valid BVI driver's license. The driver must present an up-to-date insurance policy, which must also include the driver's name and vehicle registration plate number. The driver of the vehicle and passenger must have on their seatbelts at the time they were pulled over by the police officer. Commissioner of Police Mark Collins was very supportive of this initiative and stated, and I quote, "Policing is not all about enforcement. It's also about working in collaboration to recognize those drivers and riders that continue to abide by the law and road traffic legislation." Community Police Officer PC John was happy with the success of the initiative. He said, and I quote, "The community was not expecting this gesture. Many of the drivers were shocked that they were pulled over, but once they became aware of the reason of the traffic stop, they were very pleased. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, I would like to thank the management of Bob's gas station for their partnership with the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force Community Policing Unit for the gas voucher initiative. The Community Policing Unit looks forward to more partnership with other organizations, businesses, groups, and individuals within the BVI community as we aim to bridge the gap between the police and the community." Despite facing significant operational challenges, the Labor and Workforce Department brought in a $6.9 million in work permit fees for the Virgin Islands last year. During deliberations with the Standing Finance Committee, it was revealed by Acting Deputy Labor Commissioner Ms. Althea Gishard that the department is finding it difficult to function due to staffing issues, as such is in the desperate need of additional staff. Now, according to Minister for Natural Resources, Labor, and a member for the 2nd Electoral District, the Honorable Melvin Mitch Turnbull, since he was appointed this ministerial role, the longest period of time that it has taken to process a work permit has been 1 year. He commended the DLC and her team for a job well done and, of course, keeping the department operational irregardless of the circumstances. And he also stated that it was their hard work and extra hours put in on the efforts of weekends and holidays that was able to produce the figures reported for work permits and the payments over the past year. Now, essentially reflecting on the challenges faced by the department, Turnbull stressed that while the acting Labor Commissioner and her staff are doing their best, it is imperative that the necessary resources be allocated to the staff so they can meet the demands of the department. Turnbull further stressed the need for a transformation within the department. And meanwhile, on the issue of the delays in processing work permits, the acting Labor Commissioner, Deputy Labor Commissioner that is, said that the processing time for these documents depends on the time the work permit application. And while the normal turnaround time for the regular new work permit applications is said to be some 30 working days and temporary work permits 10 days, those turnaround times can be impacted by a variety of factors, adding that those turnaround times are most likely to be realized provided that the work permit is fully completed and all the required documents are, of course, attached. She also noted that it is observed that the requirements and experiences requested in the advertisements must also match those of the applicant, adding that any disparities will cause the application to be delayed. Now, of course, viewers, the issue of staffing is not one that the Labor Department has expressed, but a number of departments throughout the government of the Virgin Islands and the civil service essentially have continued to complain about staffing, of course, recently being a trade department as well as many others. Up next, we have more local news. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Yo, everything good, Dad? Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
There are many ways to enjoy life. Like so many ways to count on Popular.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Continuing on, Minister for Education, the Honorable Sharibi de Castro, is stressing once again the importance of investing in the education beyond infrastructural development amid continuous work to the redevelopment of the school as well as other infrastructure campuses across the territory. Take a look at our further report.
As the Ministry of Education and the wider territory celebrate the return of full-day classes at the Elmore Stout High School, Minister for Education Honorable Sherry de Castro has maintained that while infrastructure investment is important and expensive, the education sector is requiring investment on a multitude of other levels.
Increase in shooting deaths of fathers and sons, we are reminded of the justice that families still yearn for. When we observe the immediate need for school maintenance and rehabilitation and even demolition, we are reminded of the work that still needs to be done, of the investments that must be made to foster healthier and safer learning environments for teachers and students. When we consider that under-resourced schools can lead to unchallenged potential, failure, dropout, overcrowded street corners, and prisons, we are reminded that we must prioritize educational resources and manipulatives so that our children can be able to engage in an environment where learning takes place. And if we understand the magnitude of what we are asking, we know that this is not cheap.
To drive in this point, she reflected on deliberations before the Standing Finance Committee.
I remember my PS, Potter, coming into Standing Finance. Colleagues, you were there. And her and Deputy CEO came in with a very extensive report and speech to seek to ask for some additional funding. PS Potter said to my honorable colleagues, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. You should have heard the silence in the room. That is why teachers and audience, in the 2023 budget, this government committed to giving more funding to education to address the very areas that you identified, teachers, especially over these last few months. My team and I met, like I said, and
De Castro noted that in recent months, she and her team have met with teachers to discuss what specific areas they would like to see addressed in 2023 to ensure that in addition to new buildings, schools are equipped with the necessary curriculum and resources to facilitate the level of teaching and learning that they are capable of. Throughout her address that day, De Castro recognized the importance of teachers in realizing the potential of the territory's learners and building the minds that will serve the Virgin Islands well.
Now perhaps more than ever before, an excellent education is vital to individual prosperity, the health of our democracy, and the strength of our territory. Educators, I see you standing here today. As a government, we still have much work to do. But your work in education will continue to help our territory to fully realize its promise and potential. Your work touches every child in the Virgin Islands, regardless of their background or circumstance, and petitions them to swim outside of their comfort zones, to catch the waves that'll change their lives. Principals, teachers, counselors, and staff, the work that you do here truly makes a difference. Indeed, when we bear witness to the events like the floods and hurricanes of 2017 and the pandemic, within a 5-year period, we are reminded that things happen that are completely out.
For 284 News, I am Jacques Wooding.
Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, Premier and Minister for Finance of the Virgin Islands, along with Mrs. Wheatley, led a delegation to attend the inauguration of the Governor Albert Bryan Jr. and Lieutenant Governor Tregenza A. Roach of the United States Virgin Islands and Charlotte Amalie St. Thomas on Monday, the 2nd January. More on this report. Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, Premier and Minister of Finance of the Virgin Islands, and Mrs. Wheatley led a delegation to attend the inauguration of Governor Albert Bryan Jr. and Lieutenant Governor Tregenza A. Roach of the United States Virgin Islands and Charlotte Amalie St. Thomas on Monday, January 2nd, 2023. Albert Bryan Jr. is the 9th elected governor of the USVI, and Tregenza A. Roach serves as the 12th lieutenant governor of the USVI. This is the second consecutive term win for Bryan Roach administration. The Premier and his delegation, which included Deputy Premier and Minister of Communications and Works, the Honorable Kai Reimer, and Mrs. Reimer, the Minister for Natural Resources and Labor, the Honorable Melvin Mitch Turnbull, and Mrs. Turnbull, attended the inauguration events, which began with the inauguration mass at the St. Peter and Paul Cathedral, followed by the inaugural ceremony at the Emancipation Garden, and culminated with the inaugural ball at Yacht Haven Grand. Premier Wheatley, during an interview with the VI Consortium and WTJX-TV, conveyed congratulations to the Bryan Roach administration on behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands, and of course cemented the long-lasting friendship between the USVI and the BVI. He expressed his appreciation for the close-knitted bond formed with the Bryan Roach administration and considered it an honor to witness history in the making. On behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands, he said, Premier Wheatley extended condolences on the recent passing of the late Dr. Roy Lester Schneider, an elected governor of the USVI who served from 1995 to 1999, and remembered the late Dr. Charles Wesley Turnbull, a Turnbull descendant of the Virgin Islands and governor of the USVI from 1999 to 2007. And that is it for today's news roundup. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Of course, you are watching 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. I'm Ron Grant. It is always a pleasure. Do have a beautiful rest of the day. A happy Friday is wished to each and every one of you. And of course, do not forget to join us tomorrow where our Jacques Wooding is going to bring to you our weekend news roundup, bringing you the top stories of this past week. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.